you need goals. You need to know where you're going in order to achieve those goals. And it's not that you become so attached to the goal that if you miss it, it becomes a depression. It's really just a guiding post.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode 186. I am excited to be here today because I have a wonderful episode for you. I'm actually recording this intro a little bit separately because I was waiting on something that I wanted to share, and I just finished recording the podcast. So it's a great show. I think you're going to really like it. Anyway, today's show is all about how to be an A player in your business to get what you want, because really, entrepreneurship, business ownership, owning a small business, however you want to identify yourself, takes a lot of gumption. It takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of hustle. It takes a lot of commitment from you. And you gotta be an A player. And, working with a sensitive audience, like people who are artists or designers or people that, we're really passionate about what it is that we do. And so it's easy to kind of get stuck in that mode. Like someone said, no, they don't like my work. And then we get offended and sensitive. And then we go down a rabbit hole and then we can't get out. And then we don't believe in ourselves and da-da-da-da-da. Entrepreneurship takes a little bit of a tough skin. In fact, we're closing enrollment for our Laying the Foundation course today for the round that we're doing that's sort of as a group. And I say as a group because we turned it into a home study program last year. You can buy it at any time, certainly, but we like being able to do it as a group together. So we've kind of changed the format a little bit, but the course content and materials are the same. But the amazing part about it is that we've been listening to, over the last couple of weeks, amazing stories of the transformation of people's businesses after they've taken our Laying the Foundation course, regardless of where they were. In fact, Andrea Lee, she's now one of our SOS coaches, which is quite incredible. She took our Laying the Foundation course for the first time in 2016. She became a member of our Diamond Insiders after, and she's currently a member of the Diamond Insiders. We just hired her as one of our SOS coaches to focus on digital marketing strategy and Pinterest, because she has been able to grow her Pinterest following to over 64,000 followers and get tons of traffic to her site from Pinterest. And all of this was stuff that she learned in Laying the Foundation. She was taking a stone setting class and met someone who was in our mastermind program. She started talking about how amazing Flourish and Thrive Academy was. We no longer have a mastermind program, but at the time we did. Andrea got involved and ended up taking Laying the Foundation for the first time in 2016. And she said, because of the stuff that I learned in that program, my collections sell out every single season, no doubt. She's now working with a shop in DC that has 6 stores that she's designing a private label for. She's on the runway all the time. She has a really edgy, funky line, and she is just killing it. She's like literally reaching her dreams. And she had done apprenticeships with John Atencio and Todd Reed as well. And all those things combined, because I'm sure that experience was amazing from a skill point perspective, all those things combined with LTF have really led her to create this amazing, profitable business that she absolutely loves. And I don't know, it's like a really exciting feeling when you can sell out of your collections every single season. Trust me on that. And so, as we're talking about being an A player, like one of the things that I really noticed about Andrea is that she has really shown up as one of the best members of our community. I have a feeling I'm saying her name incorrectly. I think it's Andrea, but when you see names written all the time, you're not really sure. So Andrea, I love you, girl. Anyway, I say this because, watching her, I've met her in person once, and she came to our live event a couple years ago when we were still running the live event, and just hearing, she pulled me aside for about 10 minutes and was just like, girl, your courses changed my life. I cannot believe what you've created here. This has really been like a prerequisite. Like everything that you do at Flourish and Thrive Academy should be a prerequisite for starting a jewelry business. This should be part of college, basically, or part of a program, because it teaches you everything that you need to do to start, to launch, to scale, to grow, to get unstuck when you're at a plateau. Like this course is something, it's not that you just take it when you're a beginner or when you're starting your business, it's something you go back to. Andrea was saying that she went back to it 4, 5, 6 times to refresh the content, or at least she's done it at least twice since she took it originally in 2016, but she refers back to the course content when she's stuck on something and refreshes. And we did a huge overhaul of the material last year. It is an incredible course. You know, we feel like we've really designed like the best thing that you can possibly get. And, you know, if you want to be speaking to your customers more and you want to learn how to market, like this is the course for you, my friend. So anyway, that's enough about that. And I'm just excited about it because today's the last day that for you to enroll if you want to join us as a group. And it's just a really incredible experience. And we're going to have some fun, I think, in the DI because we've changed the format a little bit. And with your Laying the Foundation membership, or with your Laying the Foundation purchase, maybe is the best way to put it, you'll get 6 months of our DI membership included in your enrollment, which is super cool. So you can be a part of our Diamond Insiders community. And if you decide to stay, you can continue after your Laying the Foundation time is complete. Yeah, so I want to dive into how to become an A player in business and get what you want. And this year, this was a huge lesson for me because I decided to launch a new company. And I'm a really fast mover, but I'm also a really slow mover, which is not something that many of you think about. And I like to mull things over sometimes. So 2 years ago, I think right about now, 2 years ago, it was in February of 2017, I believe. My friend Gree invited me to go to a Brendan Burchard event. She's in his mastermind, and Brendan hosts these high performance academy events. And I'm like, all right, I'm a high performer, but like can't hurt to get some more high performance tips. Let's see what he's got. And man, I'm not a high performer. When you talk to people like Brendan, it was really cool. But he made us commit to something really big. And part one of the exercises was to share an extremely big goal that you never really thought of. And I came up with this goal to do a TED Talk, and with 20 million views. Little did I know that TED Talk, the most powerful and important TED Talks like Simon Sinek and, like the top TED Talk people are getting 20 million views. I'm like, wow, you got some work to do, Trace, but we'll see how it goes. So if you ever see me with a TED Talk with 20 million views down the road, you know that I achieved my goal that I committed in Brendan's High Performance Academy 2 years ago. Anyway, but I've been mulling over the topic, like, what is it? And I knew it had something to do with being creative and being highly successful and how to use your creativity to grow your business. And so I launched a new business this year. It's called Creatives Rule the World. And I think it's going to be the title of my book. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I will definitely be informing you along the process. And if this is something that you're interested in learning about, the idea is that there's a lot of talk about leading teams and managing teams and coming from an operational standpoint, but there's not a lot of discussion about what happens to the leader of the company, who is the visionary, who's the creator, who's the one who brings in the ideas that actually bring money into the business. How do they get supported? And so I'm starting something called the Visionary Circle soon. I don't even know when, but if you want to get on the wait list for that, building a wait list, you'll be hearing more about it. It's really for people who are already doing at least $300,000 in revenue in their business and who are trying to grow their business to 7 figures, 7+ figures. If you're already at 7 figures, you're trying to grow to multiple 7, and you're trying to hire and lead and manage teams to actually support you do that, whether it's a team of contractors who are part-timers or full-time employees. This really takes a skill, especially for highly creatives. And I am certainly not perfect at it, but I've learned a lot of things along the way about how to do it wrong and how to do it right. And this, I feel like, is my life's work, to inspire the visionary in you to really reach your highest potential. So I'd love to connect with you over there. You can download my free audio called The Visionary Code. And you can also, if you're interested in learning more about the Visionary Circle, get on the wait list, pretty please. It's for you if you want to really get to the next level and grow your business. So I'm going to dive into today's episode. So today I'm talking about how to become an A player in business and get what you want. So this topic is near and dear to my heart for so many reasons, because I've observed so many designers, so many creative types, so many other business owners and entrepreneurs, and there are characteristics that really stand out that I've noticed over the years from those that are really successful and the ones that kind of just like always complain because they never have money or they're not attracting clients or whatever. And so I thought this would be a great episode to start the new year off so you can evaluate how you're kind of showing up for yourself. Because here's the deal. In business, it is like therapy and, the biggest personal growth opportunity and the biggest education opportunity, the biggest financial opportunity that you will probably ever be involved in your entire life. And, it's really like a soul searching journey because we're in it. This is something that we're doing that we love, that we're passionate about, and we're trying to make money off of our passion. And when you do that, it's like you're going deep, man. And so you really have to show up as an A player if you want to get the level of success that you really desire. Because at the end of the day, coming into this with a, we'll wait and see kind of attitude or kind of flaky, it's like, I would ask yourself, is this something that you really want? Because it takes a commitment to yourself and to your business to really get things going. So I wanted to talk, this is kind of a different kind of episode today because I wanted to keep it a little bit more conversational. So I've written out a bunch of bullet points that I truly think are characteristics and qualities of A players. And I'm sure I did not get every single one. And I'm sure as I'm talking through, I might have another idea and I might have to stop recording for a second and add another one in. But everything that I'm going to talk about today are things that I've seen over and over and over again, seen designers really emulate or own. And not that A players have necessarily all of these, but they would have a majority of these. And so I want you to think, and if if you have an opportunity to listen to this again or save this episode, it could be, a nice thing to revisit as you're kind of evaluating how you're showing up in your business. And, it can become a really powerful practice because I've had to do this many times because I can't say, I think I'm pretty much an A player, but there's areas here that I personally really need to work on. And because I've identified that, I have been working on it, again, coaching around it and all that stuff because I want to be showing up 100% every single day. And look, this is a journey. This is progress, not perfection. We're always learning in business. And that is one of, the benefits of being an entrepreneur is that this is a personal growth journey. So I read this book a couple of years ago. It's called Who by Jeff Smart. And it's really about hiring A players. But many of us, we aren't in a place necessarily where we're going to hire a team, or we're just starting to hire some of our first team members if we, haven't quite crossed the 6 or multiple 6-figure mark. We might be bringing in a virtual assistant or someone to kind of outsource some stuff to. We're not really thinking about permanent team necessarily yet. Our team is primarily more probably contractors at that level. But as your business starts to grow, you might be bringing on employees or more regular contractors to come on your team and have a more consistent role. And this is where it becomes really important to hire from the Who method. And the Who method is really all about sourcing, identifying, and hiring A players. And so some of the things that I'm going to talk about today are things that reminded me of that book about how you kind of score how you're doing. And you can even keep a scorecard if you want to identify the qualities that you'd like to see in yourself. And you can basically score yourself A, B, C, or D, how are you showing up in your business? So that would come down to the qualities that you have, like your natural talents and abilities and qualities, and then also your ability to actually do the work that you need to get done. So it's going to be interesting. We're not going to really dive deep into that, but I would definitely recommend getting that book, especially if you're thinking about hiring people. This is something that we will be working on in the Visionary Circle when I launch it. If that's something you're interested in learning more about, you can head on over to my brand spanking new website called creativesruletheworld.com. And you can download the Visionary Code and also get on the wait list for the Visionary Circle. If you have a business that's doing at least $300,000 in revenue, and you're trying to either cross the 7 figures or you're in the 7-figure arena and you're trying to hit multiple 7 figures. So we have a great group for that. And it's really around leadership, hiring, surrounding your visionary self with the right support, because that's what it's all about. In any event, definitely get the book Who by Jeff Smart. It's great. And if you hire using that Who method, you will get amazing team players. In fact, we just hired a new operations manager over here, Brianna. She's great. And Brianna replaced our beloved Abby. Abby stepped down because she wanted to spend more time with her kids. And we totally respected that. It's been a little bittersweet because we love Abby so much, but we also love Brianna. So it's not, we got a great person in to replace Abby, big shoes to fill. And at the same time, it's been an interesting journey because when I hired Brianna, she kind of fell into my lap because I hadn't officially started looking, and she happened to email me because she knew that she was making a career change, like just asking for introductions. And there you go. I ended up hiring her, but I made myself do the due diligence of sourcing other talent because I thought it was important to be able to compare and contrast and identify if, the culture fit and everything was going to work along with the skill set. And she is definitely an A player. So it's awesome. Anyway, so let's talk about some of these qualities of A players. A players take responsibilities for their action and their business. So people who, and one of the things that I'm going to say in here is that they don't make excuses. And when you take responsibility for your business, you're not blaming other people on stuff. So like, for instance, let me give you an example. Let's say we're doing something here and we have, a promotion that we're doing and we're running Facebook ads and we're trying to get more people in our funnel and trying to grow our business. And we end up, for some reason, end up writing bad ad copy and getting the ad going. Like, this is just a random idea. So we don't get many leads from the ad and the ad sucks. And my ad team, is there trying to make something that I created work and it doesn't work. And I could point the finger and say it's the ad team's fault. But really, it's my responsibility to make sure that there is success in what we're doing. And so it's really interesting that there's different approaches. Like, a lot of people point the fingers and they point blame at other self. The second that we start doing that in our businesses and blaming other people, and it's a hard thing to do because people on your team will make mistakes, but it's really about empowering people to take responsibility on your own, because clearly, if they're not doing something, according to your vision, you're probably not communicating the vision very well. And this is something that I think that I take really big responsibility for my business. But one thing that I sometimes struggle with is communicating my vision for how I see something going well enough. And so when mistakes happen, it's like all I can do to not say that was, you made a mistake, guys, or whatever. It's really about me being able to say, look, it's your time to get this right. And you got to take responsibility for your role in sharing your expectations. So A players also see value in investing in themselves. Now, this was something, I was not an A player in my first business. I'm not going to lie. And even though I had very great levels of success and I played like an A player in certain parts of the business, there were things that dropped through the cracks and that I did not take full responsibility for. And I say this because here's the deal. When I passed up opportunities to get help and invest in consultants and invest in coaches over and over again because I didn't see the value in investing in myself, because I was thinking about it as a cost, not an investment in my business that was going to help it grow. Instead, what I did is I spent a lot of money on beads and gems and more trade shows. And I spent, one year I spent almost $100,000 on trade shows, if you can even believe that. Because I was like, in order to expand my business, if I do more shows, I'll get more customers because I'll be in front of more people. But what ended up happening is that a lot of the same people walked the same shows. The shows that I did in Europe were total bombs, and they were very expensive to go to, probably like $15,000 each once you factor in travel expenses and the show fees, maybe even 20 Rand each. And I spent so much money on shows, and that year my margins shrank completely. And to me, that's not really investing in myself and my personal development and my growth as an entrepreneur or my business. That was like spending money. That wasn't like a smart way to invest the money. So that was one huge mistake that I made. And I realized the difference now, that had I gotten some coaching or talked to consultants about like how to really think about how to improve that bottom line and increase my profitability, a lot of things would have really changed. A players, they don't make excuses for why something went wrong. They take responsibility, as I mentioned before. So we're going to tie those two together because they don't make excuses. Another thing that A players do is they leave no stone unturned. And what I mean by that, I was talking with our customer success specialist, Natasha here. She gets on the phone with a lot of people who are interested in our programs over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And if you're interested in talking to Natasha, you can apply for one of her game plan sessions. I'll put a link in the show notes so that if you're interested, you can definitely book a session with her, because this is a great opportunity for you to find out how we can help you meet your needs over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And if you don't want to do that, no big deal. But, we'd love to help you out and help you grow your business. But one thing that she used to always say is like, Tracy, I'm really trying to help these students and I'm leaving no stone unturned. I'm just going to keep, investigating deeper. Like, how can I help them? How can we help them? How can we help them get their businesses to what they want to create in their business? She said to me, I'm leaving no stone unturned. And that to me reminded me of like something that any A player would do, because if they're trying to reach goals and trying to make things happen in their business, they're going to be so committed that they're going to leave no stone unturned. A players have goals. This is really important. If you don't have goals, honey, you are not playing like an A player. This is so basic here. You need goals. You need to know where you're going in order to achieve those goals. And it's not that you become so attached to the goal that if you miss it, it becomes a depression. It's really just a guiding post. Anna Shalina, our mindset coach in our coaching program, SOS over here, said something really powerful to our students and it was really powerful for me because there's so many years I set very ambitious goals in my business. And so many years I've come really, really short, like maybe $25,000, $50,000 short of my actual goal. And it's just so little, like just such a small amount of money, like within for me, what seems like a small amount of money. And I had to look at why was I missing that? Well, wasn't doing no stone unturned. So maybe I was not really playing like an A player. But the thing that she mentioned too about goals is that goals are just something that you're shooting for. And if you didn't have a goal, even if you didn't make it, would you have ever gotten as far as you were before? So they're just things that keep you motivated to moving forward in your business. A players take action. So they set goals and then they back them up with things that they do to actually achieve those goals. They are focused on action every single day of the week. They know exactly what to be focused on. They're focusing on the revenue generating activities. They can decipher which things are going to make them money in their business, and they go after it and do it. A players love challenges and they love overcoming challenges. This is really an entrepreneur quality, but it's also something I think that A players do, because a lot of people identify themselves as entrepreneurs, but they might not be showing up as A players, because challenges are what help us grow. They show us lessons that we need to learn. And they're also a great opportunity for us to up-level ourselves and move forward in a better way. It's really, really exciting. A players also have a slightly competitive streak. And I say that because they get motivated by their friends are doing well. So my best friend, Clint, my business was bigger than his when we first met. And he is so motivated and competitive that over the past couple of years, he's completely surpassed my sales and in my businesses. And we have this little slightly competitive thing going on. It's not competitive really, we're really supportive of each other. But I'm like, oh my gosh, he's doing really well. I want to get to that place. And so it's the relationship that we have in this fun, sort of competition that we've created in between us has become this really wonderful opportunity for us to both level up and become better in business. And because of that, we give each other great ideas and we keep each other moving forward. A players are always learning and improving themselves. And this sort of ties into this competitive streak. But I am if you're someone who loves to listen to podcasts, hopefully you're listening to this podcast, and I'd love for you to share it with your other friends who are A players. I love to listen to audiobooks. I love to go to conferences. I love to go to mastermind groups and meditations and meetups because I love learning. I could learn. I mean, at a certain point, you need to take what you've learned and implement it and put it into place. But this is just a great opportunity to keep moving forward and continue to grow. And with learning means that they love to grow. And that's why A players love to learn. So they're never going to be okay with status quo. I'm just saying that. A players are never going to be okay with status quo. That's sort of like a B player, and it might also be a type B personality. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're running a business, you got to be in A player mode if you want to keep things going. And just know, if you want to be keep things status quo, and you're doing that and you're intentionally doing that, just acknowledge that and be okay with it. But acknowledge that that's how you're showing up for things. And, it's true. A players don't settle for less than what they want. And so, obviously we all have aspirational goals that might take a while to get, but they know that when they're going for things that they're going to always keep moving forward and growing their business. And they're not going to settle for less than their lowest minimum bar. This year I did this mindset training right before the year turned, and I felt like I was playing really small and I had to raise the bar for myself. And so I decided that I was going to commit to a personal financial goal for myself and a goal for savings and investing that I was committed to reaching, and I was going to basically ditch my old minimum bar, and I wasn't going to settle for less than my new bar. And I'm committed to it. I'm going for it this year. And so I'm making a new line in the sand. And so I really want to encourage you to continue to raise your bar, continue to not settle for less than that high bar that you can continue to grow and up level, because great things happen when you do that. A players go the extra mile. Last year I read this book called The 10X Factor by Grant Cardone. And it was a really interesting book because Grant is like super type A. And if you've ever followed him, he's pretty hardcore. And he says like people who don't reach their goals are losers, basically. I mean, he doesn't say it like that, but it's just like basically the reason why you don't reach your goals is because you haven't given it your all and gone the extra mile. And so, and while like, maybe it's not possible to do that every single time, A players are always going to go for it. They're always looking for ease and simplicity and to get things coming into their business because they're taking that extra mile to actually make it happen. They work on their mindset always. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest thing. Last year in SOS, we hired a mindset coach, Anna Shalina, and I mentioned her earlier in the podcast. And I actually wanted to do this podcast with her. I couldn't pull it together though by the time I recorded it, but I definitely will bring her on the show because number one, she's incredible. Number two, she's got a lot going on and her trainings are so simple and her coaching is so simple, but really powerful. And she said like the training that she did about goals, she's doing something this month about another mindset topic. Everything she does is just so simple to grasp, but so powerful because it really shifts the way you think about yourself. So mindset can come in the form of affirmations. We just did this in the Jewelry Brand Makeover Bootcamp. And creating strong affirmations backed by inspired action is one of the most powerful things that we do in our Laying the Foundation course, which is, life-changing course. If you haven't taken it yet, I'd highly recommend looking into it because it's like something that will change your life and your business, especially if you haven't crossed the six-figure mark yet, or you've been stuck at a plateau over six figures or at any point in your business and you can't get to that next level. I think that sometimes people and I'm saying like people who are super action oriented like me might be able to scramble their way to six figures in business because I feel like my first foray into business with my jewelry business, I was able to scramble my way in my second year of business to $150,000 in revenue. But I definitely didn't know what I taught and what we teach in Laying the Foundation at that point. I was basically clueless. I think I was just lucky because I was like really ambitious going after sales. My business didn't really change and get to multiple six figures until I really applied what we teach in Laying the Foundation. And it's really, really powerful. And it's something that you can revisit always. That's why we give lifetime access to the content and materials and the upgrades because it's really, really powerful. The other thing that A players do is that they surround themselves with positive, like-minded people. This is so impactful. Positive, like-minded people change everything. If you're around naysayers, people who don't support your vision, people who don't support you, people who think that you're stupid for wanting to start a jewelry business, you are never going to move forward. You need to be part of a community like we have over here at the Diamond Insiders or in SOS, where you're surrounded with people who walk your walk, who understand your struggles, who can lift you up when you are down and can show you the way when you can't see clearly, because this is what it is all about. If I can tell you, having a village around me has been the one thing that has allowed me to run 3 businesses now, you guys, at the same time, coincidentally, I don't know if that's the right word, probably not, but coincidingly, I don't even think that's a word, but that part of that piece of the puzzle is the one thing that becomes the most powerful because the community piece, if you use it, will change your life. Find some people to surround you. Big groups, small groups, all of it, super powerful. This one's important. And this is a passion of mine because, I talk about being the chief visionary officer over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. I started a new business called Creatives Rule the World. And I'm just going to drop it now. If you're not following me on Instagram, I would love some love over there because I'm starting from scratch. I'm at creativesruletheworld.com. You can also follow me on my personal profile at Tracy Matthews, New York, because I want to share with you some of these things that I've been walking people through. But visionaries have like thousands of ideas a week, sometimes thousands of ideas a day. Maybe not that many, but they're really good at idea generation. And not all of their ideas are good. So they are able to decipher which ideas are good and they can move forward with them. And so this is really, really important. So when you have a good idea, they can identify, okay, like this one goes on the back burner. This one's good, but it's going to be complicated. So we're going to wait. This one is good. We can get it into action soon. Let's move it forward now because that's what's going to really change the game right here. A players can easily identify when it's their mind that's getting in the way and not get attached to their emotions and start going down a rabbit hole. Guys, it happens to all of us. We get in a bad headspace. We think we're a loser. We think that we suck at business. Trust me, after 25 years in business, I heard designers and people in our community and my peers and stuff say like they don't believe this, but I go down rabbit holes all the time. There are days when I want to quit. I have my bad days. I'm like, what am I doing here? Why do I have this business? What am I thinking? This is so hard. And, I'm buying into my emotions. I'm having my own little pity party, but I know now that how to snap myself out of it really quickly. I do tapping exercises. I listen to Law of Attraction and Abraham Hicks. I do mindset and meditation practice and do some yoga, go work out, go for a walk, go for a run, take a nap. All these things are my tools that I use to get out of my rabbit hole space because I know that if I'm well rested and I'm working on my mindset on a daily basis, that I have everything that I need within me to be a success. It's just, I might not know how now, and that requires me to be investigative and to learn how to do it. And I made some changes last year in my business. I was paying for a lot of contractors and people on my team that I thought I needed, and I was using them as a crutch to take responsibility for my own actions. And while they offered a lot of support while I needed it, it was time to kind of change and to move forward and do something different. And so I feel this sense of release and relief because like I finally got to this place where in my mind where like, I don't really need them. I can do this on my own. And here's how we're going to proceed and move forward. And it just goes to show you that sometimes you have mentors and people in your life for a period of time. You work with people for a period of time. You have friends in your life for periods of time. Sometimes they last forever. Sometimes they don't. And they're all here to show us lessons of what we need to see. And so a lot of this has to do with, ties back to this idea is that you can identify when, it's your mind or your emotions getting in the way and not reality. And so you have to be really crystal clear at that. A players are really great leaders. And not to say that leadership isn't a work in progress, but they are able to rally troops and move people forward. They're probably a little bit crazy in a lot of ways, but they can get people to buy into a vision. And finally, A players, I think I forgot to post this one. I'm going to restate it. Where is it? I think I forgot to add it. Okay, there's another one here that I'm going to add right now. They know how to get things off their plate that are not within their zone of genius. And this is really, really important. And because of that, they know how to delegate and they know when to hire people. They know when to bring people on. And if they're not good at something, they know it's time to let it go and get someone else in that seat. And so that is a huge quality of A players. They know how to do that. And because of that, they can attract these A player team members who buy into their vision and love what they're doing, which is super duper important. So that was a fun episode for me because I wanted to be able to create this Thrive by Design episode so you can identify which of those qualities you embrace. You can identify which of those qualities you would like to embrace. And then, if there's some that you want to ditch, that's totally cool too. No harm, no foul. I'm just here to inspire you, to help you, become a better business owner and grow a better business, whether it's in the jewelry space, the fashion space, the handbag space, the product space, or whatever it is. I've been meeting people out and they're like, oh my gosh, I love your podcast. Your podcast saved my business. I was at my friend Sabina's, she's also a coach here for our SOS program. I was at my friend Sabina's baby shower and some girl walked up to me and I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry if you're listening right now. And I will remember it and we're going to chat and I'm going to have you on the show. But she has a dog treat business. And she said, Tracy, your podcast changed my business. And I was like, you have jewelry? Oh my gosh, no way. She's like, no, I sell dog treats. I'm like, but everything that you say is like relevant to my business too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making like changes in all types of industries. So you might be noticing I might be talking to a little bit bigger audience as we move forward in 2019, excuse me. I always do this at the beginning of the year, moving forward, but all of it's really relevant to fashion and product-based businesses and jewelry businesses, of course. I will be tried and true to my beloved jewelry designers, but This is really a business podcast for people who are trying to get their products out into the world, who love what they're doing and love growing a business. So with that being said, I would love to know about you. First of all, have you taken our Laying the Foundation program yet? We are closing enrollment for this program that we're doing with the group. I think today is the last day we're closing. I'll have a link over at the show notes. Make sure that you enroll if you want to participate in a group. We always offer home study. That's not a big deal. But if you want to be part of the rising tide that lifts all boats and get your business going and be able to participate with our other Flourish and Thrive Academy members in our Diamond Insiders group, and you'd like to upgrade to our amazing coaching calls that we have, I think, about 10 slotted on topics such as mindset, dream client, what else? Marketing. We have 2 sales calls. We have a website review, collection reviews, all those things. We're offering a bonus this year that you can upgrade to, which is really incredible and will help truly elevate your Laying the Foundation experience. That's it for today's show. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would love to invite you to head on over to creativesrultheworld.com and sign up for the Visionary Code download. If you are thinking about hiring a team or you already have a team, these are really great tips, just super simple download that will help you lead and inspire your team and get them motivated to do what you need them to do when you need them to do it. And on top of that, I would love for you to rate and review our podcast. I don't ask for that very often, but I'm realizing after I hadn't checked for a while that we had a bunch of new ratings and reviews. And I feel really honored that we have a pretty good track record of 5 stars, which makes me feel good. And that I'm on the right course with this. And so I would love to hear from you. If there's anything you love what you're hearing, awesome. If you'd like to suggest a topic, please give us a rating and review. We'd love to help you. Or you can just email us over at support@flourishthriveacademy.com and we will get your topic on board. Thanks so much for listening today. This is Tracy Matthews. Take care until next time.